See, I mean, our society now is becoming so, we're going way back to where we were in the previous 23 years prior to 2015. Because even at the Cyril Potter College now, what's his name had started this No Child, Sheikh Bash had started this No Child Left Behind
Mm.
thing where students were just passed through the system whether they could read, write. And now my understanding is that the madam in charge has instructed the principal and the lecturers of the Cyril Potter College that no student who is working to become a teacher in the system should be failed.
Mm.
That it cannot be given less than 55%. All right. Now, these are people who are going into the
System.
education system to teach people's children. And some of them have failed so badly, I understood, that at least four lecturers have said that their conscience would not allow them to deal with this situation. Now, the reason is that when the college has its graduation sometime next month, she wants to be seen as having the largest turnout of graduates at the,
So
at
she
the
consider
institution. She
quality.
ain't concerned with the quality anymore of
Mm.
the education. And it's a sad thing for our society. Because if you are going to put people who are poor quality in the system, then the system is going to fail.
Yeah, you know, produce poor
Right?
quality
Poor
products.
quality teachers,
Yeah, and
poor
quality
quality
students.
students. You know, but they don't care.
No.
I mean, all they look at is a lot about themselves and making it appear as though the PVP is doing great. So you have, so I was telling a colleague that, I had someone who started college and I dropped out. He said, let it go back. You can't fail now. You ain't even got to do nothing.
And you pass.
And you pass. You understand? So that is the message that is out there. Go to the college because you can pass without even
Passing.
turning a hair. You understand? And that is so egregious. It's so sick. I mean, for our education system.
But I'm glad that there's some professional response by some of the lecturers
Yeah.
that are holding the ground, that they wouldn't allow
They
themselves
don't
to be
know.
reduced to
Yeah,
to
yeah.
that level. That's good.
The other thing is, that they're doing the online program, and they have, I understand that over 3,000 students are on this online platform. The lecturers are complaining that, particularly the part-time people, that they're being paid $1,000 an hour.
Mm.
But the classes are so huge. And when you have to mark papers for 200 and something
Mm.
students in a class, you're getting $1,000 an hour. How does it balance out? I mean, I was approached by an institution to do some teaching, but I refused because it doesn't, the classes at that institution, too, I understand, are pretty large. So when you gotta lecture to the students, then you have to spend the time, the amount of time you have to spend behind marking, it does not
P.
pay. Can't pay. Can't pay. Even when if you are full time, you should have a class with 200 students and all of that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And they are not increasing the emoluments needed for the lecturers who are full time and those who are part time. All right? And so they frequently have to be going into the schools and asking teachers who are in the classroom to also work with the college on a part-time basis and so on. But people are concerned about the fact that they're not being given proper remuneration for the services. And these are the things that they should look at instead of telling like people that they can't fail students who are performing poorly in the college. It's sickening, real sad. One more thing about education that I want to deal with. But before, because if you have 3,000 students on the online platform, they're talking about reopening the doors of the college just as they've done with the schools.
Mm.
Bogan, that is going to be a catastrophe because they don't have place to put them in the college. And then with the COVID-19 situation, which we must address, I don't know what's going to happen in the college if they're going to bring all those students on the campus. And I don't know how it's going to work out, you know. But I don't. There is somehow some. I don't know what's wrong with the minds and the thinking of the people who are supposed to be guiding, in charge, administering the system. And you know, you're dealing with a government now where even though people know better, they will not speak
The fear.
because of fear, right? So they're gonna just complain silently to me, to their colleagues, and so on, but nothing is going to happen, right? But we have to touch on the COVID. But the other thing is the National Grade 6 examination. Um, it was given to CXC to set the papers and to do the marking and to, you know, create a list of students who, their performance and so on, do their analysis and so on. But since the PPP has come into power, I've heard, I don't know if it's true, that they have taken that away from the CXC. It's a concern because CXC is an acclaimed body. It has no bias in terms of
Politics and
who
so,
gets what,
well, who get what.
and so on. And we know the nature of the PPP and their racist mentality in terms of, you know, so taking that back raises questions about the integrity of the examination, because we've had cases where papers were leaked and all these things, you know, and so, and students who should have been allocated or allotted certain marks or positions not being given that, and so on. So they skew the entire result so that it looks favorable to either an ethnic group or to someone. So an impartial body, for me, would have given more reliability and validity to the examination.
Yeah, more credibility.
Credibility.
But what is it? But okay, but I'm sure they haven't stated any reason.
No, they won't state reasons. When we, you know, they won't state reasons. What reasons will they give? Right? Except that they want to do their own thing.
Yeah.